This
Yes, and also
conference
Linux
will now
OS.
be recorded.
So this last week we discussed about the PowerShell, right? So the PowerShell versions, PowerShell, how to download the packages. So what are the editors available? So we can use PowerShell ISC for editing purpose. For scripting, we can use ISC. And also we can use Visual Studio Code. So and also we learned about what is the purpose of automation and what are the two types of automation available. So one is fully automated solution. The second one is semi-automated solution. So those are the major things we learned last week. So today we will discuss about help system and also commands. Okay, so first one, commands in PowerShell. So in commands, it's not a command, it's a command. So the command mean something we supposed to give as a command. In order to, it's not supposed to, it's not does not supposed to run actually, but for code review and someone going to review something, we will give the some kind of notes to the users, so we can add as a command, right? So in the code, so in the command in PowerShell, we can use two things. So one is a single line command. So if you want to command a particular line, you can make use of hash single line command. So the hash supposed to single line command. So you can make use of hash. So if you want to add a single line as a command. Okay, so for the multiple line command, so if you, for example, if you want to enter multiple lines as a command, so what are the functions purpose? So if you are writing a function, so you supposed to give what's supposed to do, and what are the input parameters and output parameters with the function, and who write the script, version of the script, so version control if you want to add, so date modified, so all those things if you want to add in the multiple lines, so you can make use of multiple line command. So the multiple line command syntax is less than hash greater than. So within that less than hash and hash greater than, you can add multiple lines. So basically it will be useful when on top of the script. So for example, if you writing the script, so you have to give the valid information. For example, so description of the task. So for example, so I'm going to write a script for the AD user addition. So AD user account creation. So the purpose, if you want to add, you can add to add list of users into AD OU group. Okay, so and also the author who write the script. And that version, if you want to add version control, you can add date and then 15/10/2022, and then initial document. So you can add likewise. So if you want to modify, if you want to edit the script after some period of time, if you are enhancing something or for appending something, you can add the date and you can modify. You can add the comments. So what you are updating. So likewise, you can give multiple statement here within the multi-line commands. So it usually if you are giving like this, so if you are running, it won't execute anything on the backend. Okay, so yeah, it just the machine will understand this is a command, so it won't give any result and all. So it's always recommended to use the commands wherever it's possible to give the information to the users, or else the developers, who's the you going to use this script. So why it is secured? In case someone referring the code, once you developed, someone developed, so it will be helpful for them to understand easily, and also it will be making track of what has been modified recently. So using the version control on top. Okay. So any questions with the comments? So for some languages, you might see, in JavaScript and all, you can use different characters. So slash you can use for single line command, and slash star for multi-line command. So here PowerShell is something different. So we have to use hash for single line command, and dozen hash and greater than hash for multi-line command. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me. You can stop and ask me anytime. Okay. All right. So can we move to next topic?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the next one, help system. So today we just started with the basic. This is very basic to the PowerShell. Okay. So whatever you are learning is very basic. So if you have any question, you can ask me at any time. Yeah. Okay. So the help system is mainly important since if you don't know what are the commands available and how to use the command, so those topic will cover comes with the under the help system. So what is help system? So it's a documentation. You can refer to understand the syntax, understand the command availability, and understand the various information with the commandlets. Okay. So the main thing is PowerShell is based on the commandlets, functions, modules, right? So the commandlet is nothing but it's a verb hyphen noun format. So if you see the list of commands, you can click on show command add-on on top of the IAC. So here, if you see, there are a lot of commandlets available. So I haven't installed any new modules. So whatever is showing is default, modules available on my system. So based on the module, the relevant command list is showing here. So if I choose all module, it will show the entire command list which is available on my system. Okay, so if you see here, so everything is the name convention something like verb by noun. Okay, so this is the format for the commandlet. Okay, so for example, if we are getting some requirement like you want to perform something on the services. Okay, so as part of the patching activity, you might having a note of so what are the services running, stopped. You have to capture the status of the current services before the patching. And also once patching is updated, you have to get again the services status after the patching. So do the post build, I mean to a post patching activity. So and then you have to compare the previous one with the current one. So whether the the existing services are running successfully or not. So if some services got stopped, so we need to start again, right? So this is basic checklist we will perform during the patching. So at the time, so for example, if you want to automate those tasks, you need to understand what are the commands available in order to use for the services related automation. So at the time, you have two ways to get it. Yeah. So one is you can use help system. You have to type help the keyword. What is the keyword? So for example, I want to automate something on the services, so I can use service as a keyword. If someone is speaking.
Oh, no, Napoleon, your voice is echoing.
Yeah, I've muted his line.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, your
Okay.
line is better now. Yeah, I've muted the other language.
Okay. Yeah. So there are two ways to get the relevant commandlets. So one is using the help system. So the help system command is get hyphen help. So this is the command we have to use to identify the commandlets and understand the syntax of the particular command. So instead of using get hyphen help, I can use help, since the help is the alias of get hyphen help. So in PowerShell we have aliases. So alias is a short name. So instead of giving the full name, we can use short name. So we can get the list of aliases using the get alias command. So if you use get hyphen alias, you can able to find the list of aliases which refers to the commandlets. So we will learn about the alias later this session. So before going into alias, so the we are going to use the help system. So instead of using the help system, I can use help as well, since the help is the alias for the help get hyphen help. Okay, so the help and then the keyword which you want to know the list of mod command list available for the keyword. So if I am running this one, you can able to find the list of command lists from the machine, having this name of service. So once you identify the list, you can able to find based on the name itself. Suppose if you want to get the service, you can able to find get hyphen service. So if you want to create a new service, you can use new service, resume service, restart the service, stop service, start service. So based on the name, you can able to understand. That's the one point. Second thing, so if you still have question how to use, what are the parameters available, what are the syntax we need to follow. So on that time, so you can just copy or you can type it directly with the help system again. Again help followed by the command. So now it will give the document for the get hyphen service. So in the get service, you can able to find the syntax. So the aliases. So I can use GSV instead of get service, since it's alias for get service. So I can use GSV to get the result as well. So in help service, we have a lot of parameters. So for example, I can use functionality. So without using any parameters, it will give only the minimal information, right? So if I'm using other options like functionality, service. Okay, so in order to run the entire help system, the documentation, so you need to update the help system. So once you install the PowerShell, or you are going to use, you have to update the help first. So it will help, it will get the documentation from the Microsoft page. So whatever the latest documents available, it will update actually. Okay, so here if I need a full information, so I can use okay. So I am using -full parameter for the get service. So it will give the list of information specific to the get service, name, syntax. So if you see a syntax get -service followed by some square bracket and then -name and all, right? So we will learn about the parameter name and the data type and all we will learn. Here the parameter is each parameter what are the properties available, whether it will require to give others the position. There are the type of parameters, so we will learn about the types. So what are the aliases available? So instead of computer name, I can give CN as well. Those each and every information will be available when you are using full. So whether we have to use pipeline, so all those information will be available here. So what are the inputs it will we can pass, and what are the output data type it will give. So what are the alias information available? So all those information you can able to find. So either you can use the full information, or if you are going to if you want some help, if you want some examples, you can use examples as well. So if you use examples, you can able to find some example related to the command. So or else you can directly use online. So if you use online, it will directly go to the documentation page. So this is the documentation page for this command, https go.microsoft.com, link id this one. So this is related to the get service page document. So either you can copy and use it in the browser, or else if you use get help service and then -online, it will redirect to this page. Okay, so this is one way to identify the relevant command. And also once you identify the commands, if you need whether what is the purpose of this one, you can again use the help system to understand the syntax of the command. So if you need more information on the parameters and all, you can use the parameters like full examples and online. So on the other way, in the you can find out here itself on the front end. So if we have a keyword, you can type keyword here. You can able to find here itself. So you click here, you can able to find the presentation of the parameters. So whatever is showing here, right? So as part of the parameters. So under the parameters, we have computer name, deployment service, display name. So all those parameters available here, the form of UI form, GUI form. So you have to fill the details, and if you want to run, you can click and run. It will run automatically. So others, if you want to copy the command, you can copy here. So if I am giving some details like localhost as a computer name, and then if I am copying here, so I can paste here as well. So instead of using the presentation, here, so if you want to more information, you can make use of the help system, and also you can be able to find the parameters type as well. So what is parameter? So again, we last time we discussed about what is object, properties, methods, and parameters. Hope you remember. So we passed two parameters in order to add in the add function. So A and B is input parameters which supposed to work in the addition function. So if you are passing those two parameters, then only the addition will work. So we we have addition function last time, right? So likewise, so if you want to add, by default we no need to pass any parameters for all the commands. But in some cases, so if you want to filter, the values, if you want to filter with some particular values, for example, I need to filter a particular service, Vinaram service. Others I need to filter only, the service status should be stopped. So those kind of filtration purpose, you can make use of parameters. Okay, so for example, so here get hyphen service. So I am not giving any parameters. So I'm just using the command. I'm going to run this one. So you can able to find the list of command, list of services available on the machine. The services name, the first one is services status, and then name, and then description of the service. So those three columns comes default, right? So here the entire service details you can able to find it. You can able to get it using this get service command. But if I need to filter a particular command, so I can use the parameters. So what is parameters? So I need to give hyphen here after the commandlet. I have to give one space and then hyphen. You can able to find the list of values, right? So the hyphen. Once you added the hyphen, you can able to find the list. So this is called the parameters. So name is a parameter, computer name is a parameter. So we can able to find the list of parameters which is associated with the get service. So for example, I'm going to add name. So after that, I just pressed space bar, and I can able to find the list of services from the machine. Why it is showing here? So last time we saw the intelligence, right? Start and intelligence. So the ISC will work like that. So it will get the default values whatever available from the machine. So if you want a particular, you can select from the list, or else you can type it here. Suppose I want to check the Punaram service status, get service hyphen name followed by the service name. Here first one is a commandlet, is a command, Powershell command. So based on the requirement, we supposed to identify the command, and once we identify the command, we have to use that command, and then based on the command, we supposed to apply the parameters. So the always the hyphen something, right? So it's a parameter name and followed by the parameter value. So this value is for this parameter. You can apply more parameters. Currently if I am not passing computer name, by default it will fetch it from the local host. suppose if you are applying some if you are adding computer name and giving some other system, so it will fetch from that particular server.
Sorry to interrupt,
So
Napoleon.
yeah,
So service name will be the object, right?
okay, so I'm going back again with the help system. So if we see each parameter having its own data type. Okay, so if you see get service hyphen name, it supposed string array parameters, string of array parameters. So the entire result will be object, but in terms of parameter, each parameter having its own data type. So the data type is something different, so we will learn about it. But here the thing is name will accept string of array. So the string is a word. You can use multiple name for this parameter. So array is a same data type, collection of same data type. You can use multiple string for name. So here I am using winaram, but you can use multiple multiple values as well. Separately come out.
Okay, in that case, which will be called as object? Output will be called as object.
Okay, so the entire result set will be an object.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so here based on the syntax, so why is told you before, the help system is very important. From the help system only you can able to understand what kind of parameter is it, and what are the uh, data type it will accept. So all those information you can able to find out from the syntax help system actually. So here name parameter will accept string of array. The array means more than one value. Okay, so it will accept more than one value as well. You can pass more than one service name in order to get all the details. Okay, right. Okay, so for some commands, the parameter is important, which mean we supposed to give mandatory in order to perform the execution. So that's why we splitted parameters into three types. So one is positional parameter. So there are three type of parameters. So before getting to types, so hope you understand what is parameters, right? So if you still have question, please let me know.
Yeah, I can understand Napoleon. Thanks.
Oh, okay. So there are three type
Just a
of parameters.
clarification.
One is yes, please.
A small clarification here. So
Okay.
when you're going to give get hyphen service without giving the name, will that command be successful? If you're going to
Yes.
give
Yeah.
get hyphen service, give winaram comma spooler hyphen computer name. If I'm going to pull it from a different computer, will the command be successful? Or you said there is a list of arrays that will be accepted, right? So only when you give that particular parameter, it will be successful, or how it is?
No. So if you want to get the entire result, so you can use get service itself. So if you want to specifically need to select some particular services from the local machine, you can, without mentioning any computer name itself, you can able to fetch it. So if you want to fetch it from some other remote machine, you can give the computer name, and then you can filter those services. So from this one, I'm using localhost. So which means from the local machine, I'm going to filter. I'm going to get WinRM and Spolar services details. So without, if you want to get the entire services, so no need to mention any name. To directly get the list of services from the local host means you no need to specify the computer name itself. You directly call get service. So if you want to get it from remote machine, you can add the computer name. So specifically, if you want to filter the name, you can use hyphen name and then followed by the service name.
So
Got it?
whenever filter specific information needs to be retrieved, we need to use a filter or a parameter, right?
Correct. So whenever it's required to filter out the particular value, you can make use of parameters. And also not from the local machine, so it's something from remote machine. So you have to use parameters. So based on your requirement only, you have to use parameters. So for some cases only, you supposed to mention the parameters without fail. So that's why we have three parameters. So one is positional parameter, optional parameter, and also mandatory parameters. So which mean we supposed to pass the parameters in order to work the commandlets. So here the get service will work without any parameters.
Yeah. Okay.
So got it? Okay. So there are three type of parameters. So one is positional parameters. Second one is optional parameters. Third one is mandatory. Okay. So we will discuss about each types with the example so that we can understand better. Okay, so as I said, there are three type of parameters. Right? So first we will go with the mandatory parameters. So I have mentioned params. So parameter, short form is params we are using here. So mandatory parameter means we will take three kind of commandlets. So one is get event log. Okay. Get hyphen event log. So so if you try to run this one, get event log. Hope you know event viewer in the Windows machine, right? So the event viewer will have security related, application related, system related event logs, right? So suppose if you want to automate something on the event viewer, so you can make use of this command actually. So this command basically will fetch the information since it's a get event log. So if you search with the event related, you can use help of event. You can able to find the list of event related commandlets. Okay, so here if you are running the get event log, it will ask you for the log name. It won't work since the log name is a mandatory parameter. Okay, so it will ask you to give some values. Yeah, okay. So if you see here, supply values of the following parameters. So log name, it's end actually. So we have to pass something in order to execute the get event log command. So here I'm just passing system. So it will give the list of log from the log viewer. So I'm going to stop since I have a lot of events. Okay, so here if you see there are a lot of parameters available, right? So one of the parameter is log name. So if I'm running the command without any parameter, it stopped the execution. It's asking for the parameter value, right, for the log name. So log name, it's looking for the log name in order to execute the command. So I need to apply the list of log name here. So here I need to apply the log name value. If I am applying log name value, it won't ask anything. It will run. Okay, I don't have access to the registry since I'm not logging as the admin.
Nepal, instead of open here. Suppose if I want to retrieve the a particular instance ID from the log, so how the parameter can be passed?
Okay, so we can use. So if you want to filter based on the date, so before 24 hours, after 2012. So if you want to pass with the dates, you can use. Others, if you want to filter newest 10 items, you can use newest 10 items.
No,
So if
suppose
you want to use,
if you want to use a specific string.
yeah, you can use message. So message you can use what are the so if you see message, you can pass some values based on the filter. It will show, and also you can use instance ID, entry type, other information, right? So entry types. So you can make use of entry type as well for the filtering.
Okay.
Suppose what was Sadagapan asking was the event ID like 6005 or something like that. So how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get
So
those one?
yeah, it's a instance ID or index, right? I think it's instance ID. You are
That's a,
Yeah. For example, I
yeah, yeah.
mentioned instance ID. Suppose if I want to find out errors by using a specific keyword.
Yes, sort of. So we will learn one by one. So here we are learning about the parameter, but it can be possible. So so if you find with this instance ID, and if you want to filter based on the message with some keyword, is it possible to use actually? I'm applying some conditions over here after the pipeline $_dot message contains something. If you see other like if you are giving some keyword like
Cannot
issue,
be found.
yeah, cannot be
found.
found. Cannot be found. Okay.
Single word cannot.
Okay. So here it will fetch the entire value, and then we will learn about the pipeline and all later, and also where object and also here you can be able to find the list of values, and then you can filter the message based on some conditions. So I'm applying a condition here. The condition is the message contains cannot be found. It will filter out and give the result.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, so the learning here is the get event log will work only for giving log name parameter. So this is one of the example for unitary parameter. How do I understand whether the what are the commands are having unitary parameters or not? So it's there are two ways. One is if you are using help system, you can able to find it way first. Help of. So whenever you found something for your requirements, for example, I am going to do something with the event viewer. So I'm going to fetch something, like the message contains cannot found, right? Cannot be found. So likewise, I'm going to filter something from the event viewer. So I need a command for that. So you can able to find with the help system or online. You can able to find out. So so if you is event, right? So I know the only the keyword. I'm going to perform something on the event viewer. So so you can take it event is a keyword. So using help system, you'll get help or help. You can give the keyword first in order to find what are the commandlets available with the name of event. Here a lot of commandlets available, but in order to get the event logs, right? So you can make use of get event log. So again, I'm using get help followed by the get event log command. So now it will show the syntax alias. So there is no alias for this command. So syntax, right? So from the syntax, you can able to find whether what kind of parameter is it. So you see here. So get event log followed by the square bracket. Within the square bracket, hyphen log name and then string. So it will look like this one. So I highlighted this one, right? So I just copied and pasted here the same thing. So we can segregate the parameter types based on the square bracket. So that's the key point. So if you see here, the mandatory parameters always should be like this. So the parameter, before the parameter, the square bracket will start, and end of the parameter name itself, the square bracket will be end. So after that, the data type of this particular parameter will be there without any bracket. So the square bracket will start and ends within the parameter name, not with the data type. Okay, so it will end after the parameter name itself. So if you see, look like this. This is called a mandatory parameter. So this is one way you can identify from the syntax and also the square bracket actually. So the next one you can from the GUI itself you can able to
Sorry
find
to
out.
interrupt here. Sorry to interrupt here.
Yes.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
Actually, get event log hyphen log name. We don't need to mention over there. I believe that is an optional parameter. I believe. I mean, you don't need to mention the parameter name. Without parameter, you can provide the value directly. It seems. Because within
Okay,
the
so
square bracket it is. Which means,
okay, so
say for example, 49th line, you have provided log name hyphen log name system, right? You can remove hyphen log name and then you can run the command itself.
okay, so you are saying like this one, like this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will work actually. I don't say it won't work actually. You supposed to. Okay, so what I am telling is you don't need to you need to mention the values actually.
Okay.
The value will taken care for the log name. So
okay.
The logical part is already there actually in the backend. So the value is supposed to you pass. Okay, so that's why I'm mentioning about the log name. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so this is one way you can identify using the square bracket, and also the other way you can able to find out with the GUI. Get event log. So if I'm click here, you can able to find there's a star symbol on the log name, right? So we have to give values for the log name. Then only the this command will work. So you can able to find the mandatory values. Okay. Okay. So and also whatever we are finding, right? So it's based on the square bracket actually. Okay. So the next parameter type is positional parameter. So the positional parameter and then optional. So we will go to optional parameters again, and then we'll go to positional. Okay, so the optional parameter is called without specifying any value, any parameter, it will take the default value. So for example, the get service, right? So even the get event log, we have computer name, right? Okay, so here even get the event log, you can able to find the computer name. So there's a computer name parameter. So the square bracket started before the parameter, and then it ends after the data type. So like this. So I already copied here. So the optional parameters supposed to like this. So the square bracket will start front of the parameter name, and then it ends with the data type. After the data type only it will ends. So mandate, it will start in the parameter name itself and ends with the parameter. If you see optional, it starts the parameter name and ends with the data type. So if you see this kind of syntax, so it's a optional parameters. So optional means without specifying the computer name, it will take care of default value as localhost. So yeah, I am not giving any computer name. I'm not passing any computer name here, but it's working right as an optional parameters, since it's taken as a local host. For get service also, it taken the local host without passing anything. So it's the optional parameters. So the third one is positional parameters. So it's a combination of both the mandate and optional. So if you see here, there are two square brackets started with the parameter name, and one ends with the parameter itself, like mandate parameter, and second square bracket will ends with the data type. So like optional parameter. So the square bracket is combined with the mandate and positional. So there are two square bracket here. So this is positional parameter. So what is positional parameter? So once you given the commandlet, so after that you no need to mention or specify any parameter name. You directly mention the value. So likewise, so like this, okay. So get event log, I am not specifying log name as a parameter. You no need to mention log name. So if you are giving some value, so by default it's a 0th position actually. So if you see the array position is start with the 0, 1, 2, 3 likewise. So on the next position, if you are giving something, it will be taken care and it will be assigned to the first parameters, which means log name is a first parameter. The system will assign to log name and it will work. And also, if, for example, I'm using get service without specifying a service name, I can use winner value. So without specifying name as a parameter, the value will take care of name and it will work. So this is called positional parameter. So after the commandlets, the 0th position will be taken care of in the system and it will assign to the first element. Okay, so any questions with the type of parameters?
Can you give me some examples for positional parameter and optional parameter?
Okay, so same. So you here I am okay. Get hyphen service hyphen name. I need to pass winner as a or else ALG as a service type, right? So it's supposed to be get service commandlet hyphen name as a parameter, ALG as a parameter value, right? So name, this is value for this parameter. So I have to give like this. but without specifying the parameter, I can use directly with the ALG. Why it is working? Since I haven't specified this is for name parameter, but the machine will understand, after giving some value to the commandlet, it will be taken it is assigned with the name parameter. So this is the first position, right? This position will be mapped to the first position parameter.
Okay.
So optional means I haven't specified computer name here. So if I'm giving some computer name, it will take the value. So if I'm not using any computer name, by default it's looking for the local host. It taken as a local host, right? So that's the optional parameter. And also I am not giving any location here. So for example, there's a command to list the directory. We used ls, right? So in the Linux system we can use ls as well. The ls equivalent PowerShell command is get child item. So here I am using get child item, but I haven't specified the path, which path I is supposed to get the information. Okay, so but it taken the default path and it works, right? So likewise, there's no need to mention anything. It will take the default value. Okay. All right. Okay. So any questions with the parameter types?
So option parameters is basically used to get the default values. So am I
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So without specifying also, it will work. Okay. So here, one more thing. So instead of hyphen computer name parameter, I can use hyphen co. So if I'm using hyphen co, as a short form also, it will work. How it is working? If you go ahead and check the help system, you can able to find. I'm using help system for get service. So I'm checking the parameter. So in the parameter, on the parameters computer name, right? So there is a property called alias. For the computer name, alias is cn. Cn, if you can use cn as well. So you can use cn, for the computer name. Suppose if you are getting some script from the internet, or if you are getting from other team members or colleagues, so if we see, whatever we learned here is full name hyphen computer name, right? So but if we check the script, it's having hyphen co or cn. It suffers to the computer name actually, but mostly they won't use. For some cases, if someone used the short name, you supposed to understand this is supposed to the computer name. Okay, so any doubt the commands and also help system and also parameters types? Suppose if you are working parallelly, you can let me know. You can try the commands right away, and then let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so are we good? Shall we move to next? Okay. Yeah. So the type of parameters, right? So once you identified and you are using regularly, you might know the types actually. So every time you no need to check the types. So for example, if you are using get event like multiple time, you might know the log name is mandatory. We're supposed to give the log name value, then only it will work. So you understand like that. And also if you are fetching some file information, you need to give the path. So if you are not giving the path also, it will work since it will take the default path, the Powershell path which is available, right? Yeah. So if you want to specify a particular path, it will work and it will take and work the command. So based on your experience and also learning, you understand the parameters types. So every time you no need to go to help system and check the parameter types based on the square bracket and all. So to be the PowerShell when start with the version 2 and now is lot of changes actually. So in order to ease of use for the development point of view, since every time you no need to give the parameter name, actually if you are giving the value, it will automatically taken. So and also there are some easy way to understand. So that's why the UI and all is come into picture actually. But I recommended not. You can use the UI very minimally and go with the typing. Then only you can understand and you can make a script very well actually. Since you are using UI, right, so you can feed the information, but you can able to copy a single line code. But if you are converting a multi-line code and fetching the data and doing manipulation, data processing, so something you are performing, right? So you can't do in the GUI. So you can be able to fetch only the raw data. Okay, so again properties and methods. So we will learn about it. Okay, all right. Okay, so we will have 10 minutes break and then we'll start with the aliases. So what is alias? So how to use alias? So what are the issues with the alias? So all those things we will learn after the break.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Okay, so now we can discuss about the aliases. Okay, so as I said before, alias is a short name. So for each command, it's alias having most of the commands having aliases, but so what is the purpose if you are supposed to run something? So for example, so I hope you can hear me, right?
Yes, Napoleon, we can.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So alias is a short form. So suppose if you are getting some ADA request, so customer asking to check some events, some process, high utilization process if you want to check. So what is the process is taking more virtual memory. So some incident, some request from the customer, some other track. So if you want to check something immediately, you can make use of the single line command instead of the script. So see ADA command actually. So on that case, when you're typing the ADA command, no need to enter the full command get hyphen service, get hyphen process, or get hyphen event view, so event log. So instead of that, you can make use of alias name for the ada command. So we have a lot of ada command actually. Get aliases. So if you want to fetch the list of aliases in your system, you can use get alias command. So if you see there are few commands. So if I need to get the count, I can use confined way, and then one of the property called count. So there are 158 aliases there actually. So if you see so the name, right, sp is a alias name, and then it refers to the set hyphen property of command line. So whenever you are using set hyphen item, you can make use of si. So likewise, instead of get service, you can use gsv. So you no need to remember all those things. So this is for the information, and if you are referring some code, or if you are performing some ada command, so to check something, so after, based on your experience, you might know the details. Okay, so and also if we found some name like abc cli or something, so no need to worry about that. You have to check so what's about what it refers to the corresponding commandlet. So if you want to check that one, get alias. Suppose I need to know what is the alias for get service, I can use gets alias definition. Definition is a parameter for get alias. So and then I'm giving the definition for the commandlet. So if I am running this one, so I can able to find the exact alias for the get service. So on the other way, if you have alias name, you need to check which commandlet is supposed to refer. So we can use get alias hyphen name as GLSV. So you can able to find the details. So first one is you already know the commandlet. You want to know the alias name. You can use get alias followed by hyphen definition followed by the commandlet name. So and vice versa, if you know the alias name, if you want to know the commandlet, you can find out using get alias hyphen name and then alias name. So based on this parameters, you can able to identify the alias name and commandlet name. So if you are getting some code from the internet, something it contains some abc or some short name. So at the time, if you want to check the corresponding commandlet, you can make use of get alias and then alias name. Okay, so is it possible to create a new alias? Yes, it is possible. So if we have a new alias, and then you can create with the existing commandlet as well. So at the end of the course, when it comes to module number 16 or something, so when we are working on the function class, so you will create a script like commandlet. So the get service is a function or commandlet. It will fetch the list of services, right? So likewise, you can able to create one. You can be able to create a function like get service. So at the time, you can create a new alias as well with the named function name. So now I am going to create a new alias for the existing commandlet. So new alias name abc value get service. So we already have alias name for get service, GSV, right? So if I am running GSV, it will give the list of services name. If I am running get service also, it will give. So both alias name and the corresponding commandlet will give the entire result. So likewise, I'm going to create one more alias for get service. So the alias name I am giving as a ABC. I'm going to run this selected option. Now I am going to check whether it's created properly or not using get alias command. So if we see, I can able to find two alias name. One is system generated, system defined one, which is already available in the system. The second one I have created, user defined alias. So if I am running with the newly created alias ABC, it will work actually. So then what is the drawback with the alias? So if you ask me for the drawback, there are a few things. So it is not recommended actually. You can make use of the system defined alias. That's fine since the alias is available wherever you are running on the machine. So if you are running GSV, it's supposed to, if I am running GSV, I am giving I used GSV for the script and I have given the script PS1 file to you. You are running the same code, it will work since your machine also having GSV as a command alias. But some cases I'm creating the alias called ABC. I created this one. So when I'm checking the alias name, I can able to find here. But the lifetime of this user-defined aliases is stored on the memory, not on the hard disk. Which means, so until the ID, the PowerShell ISE, right? So until the PowerShell ISE is open, I can able to make use of the ABC alias. Once I close the ISE, the memory will be closed, right? So the session will be closed. So after that, if I'm opening a new ISE, if you search the ABC alias, you can't able to find it since it's not saved. It's saved on the memory only. So if you want, to create a new alias for your script, and if you want to share the script to users or someone, you have to export the alias and then you have to import the alias in the script. Then only you can able to make use of it. So we have two more commands with the alias. So one is export alias, and then you have to give the path. So once you given the path and you can show it as a TST file, test file. Okay, so once you exported the aliases, so all the alias name will be stored on the file, and before the execution of the before the execution of the of your script, you have to import the alias first. So once you imported the alias, then only and the user defined alias will work. So you have to import your alias first, alias file first, and then you have to write your code. Then only you can able to find your alias, user defined alias in the session. So this is something difficult since the default part is you every time you need to export and share it with the user. So if you are sharing the PowerShell code, you have to share the alias file as well. So that's why it's not recommended to create a new alias actually. So you can make use of the existing alias from the system, but it's not recommended to use the system user defined one. Okay, so any questions with the alias?
No questions, sir.
Okay, so suppose if you have some you know special characters like question mark, so you don't know what it relates to, so you can find it in alias as well. So get alias hyphen name, it's alias name question mark. So the alias, if you see the entire alias, so there are few alias having special character, not with the letters. Okay. So if you see the get alias, you can find the list, right? So all the alias name will have started with this first letter, right? So you see lowercase value, right? So but if you see on top of it, you can able to find some special characters called percentage question mark. So the question mark is related to the where object. So we will learn about for each and where object actually. So where object will use to apply some conditions. So instead of where object, I can use question mark as well. It refers to the where object only. Okay, so for some cases, some commands having multiple aliases. So for example, if I'm giving definition of where object. So you can able to find two aliases. So question mark also one of the alias for where object, and where also one of the alias. So whether you can use full format of where hyphen alias object, or else you can use question mark, or else you can use where. So you can use combined anything from the list. So all three refers to the where object to apply some conditions in order to filter the data. Okay, so there is one more command called a get command. So basically, get command hyphen noun. I'm giving something, so it will give the list of noun. As I said before, the commandlets are all verb hyphen noun format, right? So if you want to filter only the nouns with the specific keyword, you can use get command hyphen noun and then keyword. You can able to find the list of commands, commandlet, the noun, the keyword which is given. And also, if you want to filter based on the verb, the first word with the get, what are the get related commands are available, you can filter out. So get command and hyphen verb, and then the keyword which you want to fetch. Suppose if you want to stop something, so you can use stop keyword. You can find out what are the stop kind of commandlets available. So I have function called stop DSC configuration dot stop DTC stop scheduled task. So the scheduled task is from task scheduler. Okay, so stop job, stop process, stop service. Okay. So we last time also we we understand like PowerShell is not a case sensitive, so we can use lowercase and uppercase or combination of both. So whatever I gave, it will work, and we can use aliases as well. Okay. Okay, so if you have, if you know the command, so the command giving some result. Okay, so based on the result, so if you want to, count the list of items, you can use the command with the confined, bracket. So within the bracket, and then you can use count. You can be able to find the count of services. So there are 316 services available on the machine. So what is the count actually? It's a property actually. So get -service. So if you are using within the bracket, and if you are applying a dot, you can able to find the list. Okay, so the list here, right, there are two things you can able to find. So one is the box, white color box, right? So you can able to find the white color box and also the pink color box. So as we discussed last week, so each property having its own properties and methods, right? So the get service, so whatever you are seeing as a white box, right? So it's all properties. So whatever you are seeing in the pink color box is a methods. So for example, get service dot name. See a list of services name, you can able to fetch it. Get service dot. So whatever you are going to get as a property, you directly give the property name. You no need to mention anything. So it will give the entire property values. Suppose if you are going to apply some, if you are going to run some action, so either start or stop, you can use bracket. Okay, so as we discussed last time, actions if you are performing on the object is called function or the method, right? So I'm going to start all the services. So at the time I can use get service within the bracket, and then I'm going to invoke the method called start. Then the the service, all the services will be started. So but this is not the right way you can run all the services up and running, right? So there are few other commandlets also available for ease of use. So for example, if you want to start the services, we already have some services, some commandlets called start service. So you can directly use the start service, directly. So if you want to run specific services, you can provide here -name, which service you want to start, you can give directly. So there are two ways. So one is you can confined way you can start, others you can use the direct commandlets. So and also you can use some other way as well using the pipeline. So we will learn about the pipeline process tomorrow, how we can use the pipeline to perform the same thing in multiple methods. So in PowerShell, if you want to achieve something, you have multiple ways of doing it actually. So that's what we are learning here. So either you can do it in the confined method, or else we have separate commandlets to perform the task, or else you can run the command with the pipeline statement. Okay, so we'll learn about the aliases and then commandlet, right? So properties and methods. So we will learn about the properties and methods in detail. Okay, so here I am just giving some information on the command. Okay, so on the next topic, we will cover about the PSDRIVE and PS provider. So, so what is PS provider? So PS is called Powershell. So Powershell provider. Okay, so the Powershell provider is something what whatever you can perform using PowerShell. You can understand from the get-ps provider. Okay. So if I run get-ps provider, so it will give you the list of result here. Okay, so from the PowerShell, so I can able to achieve this many types. So I can able to perform something related with the registry. Okay, so I am just expanding this window. Okay, so here I can able to perform something on the registry. So HKLM, HKCU, right? So I can able to perform whatever I am doing, on the registry side. And also there are some capabilities also which can be done using PowerShell. So what are the capabilities? Should process and transactions. Okay, so what is should process? So something you are performing, right? So you're performing some action on the registry. So which means so there are two parameters available. So one is what if, and second one is confirm. So those two parameters comes under should process. So which means so if you are not sure to run this code as command, but in case you just want to understand if I am running this one, what it can be, what can be the result. So if you want to understand that, or if you want to carefully execute the command, you can make use of the should process related parameters. So this two parameters which is related to the should process. So for example, so stop service is a command to stop the services. So here I know I'm going to stop services for a particular command, particular service. I can directly give stop service followed by hyphen name followed by the service name value for the name. So I'm going to stop the Win Defender service. I know if I am running this one, it will stop execution of the it will stop the services of the Windows Defender. But some case, on the basic level, if you are not mentioning any service name, you directly given stop service. So it will try to stop all the services, right? Since you are not specifying any individual service. So at the time, and also if you're not sure what can be the result, even if you applied something, if you don't know the exact service name, but you copied from the internet with the service name. So at the time you supposed to run what it will be the result. So at the time you can use either what if or confirm. So if I'm using what if, so if it will give the information if you are performing the operation stop service on target of Microsoft antivirus service WinDefend. it just give the information. So if you are running this, it will stop the services on the this target antivirus service. And on the other way, if you are using confirm, it will ask you in the prompt, you know. So can you able to find the prompt? I think no, I guess. Okay, so it will prompt like this. So performing the operation on you know, stop service on the target of antivirus. So it will ask you like want to execute you know, perform this action. Yes to all. If you are performing for multiple services, you can click on yes to all, or no to all. If you are clicking no, it will stop the execution of the particular service. So if you are clicking if you are running on the multiple services, it will, you can give one by one also is fine. You can execute one by one also fine. But if you want to stop all, you can stop you know, no to all. If you want to execute for all, you can click on yes to all. So I'm going to suspend this action. So basically, there are two parameters: what if and confirm, which comes you know, under the should process. So if you don't know anything, or if you want to you know, if you have to run the statement carefully, you can make use of you know, what if and confirm before executing it. So if you already you know the process, if you are going to run the code, then no need to worry about it. But if you are going to run any action, so you can make use of the should process parameters, either what if or confirm. Okay, so transaction is nothing but the registry you will perform you know, a rollback commit statement, right? So those comes under transactions. And also aliases, you know, as we discussed alias, so there are a lot of alias you know, available. So you can make use of the alias environment. So environment, you know, environmental variable and all, right? So you can able to access the environment. So the environment, we can use $env. So whatever you are referring you know, environmental variable, you can find the dollar symbol and then env. You can able to find the list of environmental variable. And also file system. So the file system, you know, there are two drives available on my system. You can able to find, you can able to perform whatever you know, can achieve on the file system. So on the drives, you can filter the drives based on the drive type, whether it's a SAS type, SATA type, SSD. So you can filter out and should process same, and you can apply you know, access the credentials. So that's how you can able to perform on the file system side drives. And then function. So functions again is a method to perform something which is having existing function. So you can perform an action with the existing code. So variables you can make use of it. So variable means you know, holding some values into the variable for repeatedly. If you are using, you can store the value into the variables. So it can be memory variable or automatic variable. There are few automatic variable available in the PowerShell. So we can learn about when we are learning in the variable section, variable module. So certificate. So if you are performing something, you can able to achieve in PowerShell using certificate related task. So WS man, this is related to the remoting. So Windows system, you know, this is related to the remoting. When you are performing remoting, you know, taking another computer to work. So if you want to shut down multiple computers from the centralized machine, so you can connect using you know, WS man, and WinRM should be enabled. So we will learn about the remoting in later classes. So we will achieve you know, using PowerShell. So these are the you know, main area we can cover. using PowerShell. So PowerShell provider will provide all the capabilities and transaction activities which is related to this area. Okay, so any questions with the provider?
Napoleon, can you just explain more about the environment? Suppose if I'm writing a script, okay, for the development and pre-production and production. So,
Okay.
I mean, I saw in the scripts, I mean, this environment variable is used, okay, to run the same commands or the set of modules to run based on this environment variable. So I don't know how this can be used when we're writing a script for when we're writing a script to run on the multiple environments using the same script by fetching the different environments.
Okay, so the environment which you are referring is something different. Development, production, database, middleware, those environment you are referring, right?
Yeah, it can be anything.
Yeah. So what I am telling the environment is environmental variable. So for example, so if you are installing Java, and the home Java path will be added into the environmental variable, right? So for example, so I'm using environment for module, I think. Yes, module. Yeah. So suppose I need to know where I can found the PowerShell modules from the system. I can refer $env environmental $ps module path. So if I'm running this one variable, so I can able to find the list of path available for the PowerShell module.
Okay, so you mean to say this is equivalent to $path variable in Unix or Linux?
Correct. $path variable in Unix. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So the next one, get PSDRIVE. So this is something same. This is specific to the drives. So here the PS provider is for all functions, so everything, right? So here it's specific to the drive, and also it will give separate information like this TC drive having how many used size and how many free size. So what are all drives available on the system? It will provide all those individual list as well, and also it will give the registry information separately. It's again the same thing, but when it comes to PSDRIVE, you can able to find the detailed information of drive. Okay, so both PSDRIVE and PS provider, we just send information to the developers. So what are the items or types we can able to process it. We can able to modify or we can able to automate it. So this is the generic one. This is and also the theoretical one. So when it comes to scripting and all, we have to learn about the command-led methods, variables and all. So this is high level to know what are the capabilities we can achieve using PowerShell. So we can able to modify the can create the file, you can create the folder, whatever we can achieve on the drive side we can achieve. We can create a new disk, we can delete the disk. So whatever we are performing manually on the drives we can perform. So Aliases side, environmental variable we can add or remove, so we can execute the function, we can change the registry. So we can perform the remoting on the multiple machines. So all the features we can able to achieve it. Okay, so hope you understand, why we are using what if and confirm. So if you don't know anything, others, if you want to run carefully, uh, so you make use of, what if or confirm. So if you are using what if, it just give the information. It won't run exactly, but it will just give the information. So based on the information, if you are okay, you can remove what if, and then you can run the code. So on the other hand, if you want to show some prompt before running the code, so you can use confirm. And again, it will show in the uh, prompt. So if you want to execute this one, it will do this one. So it will give the information, and if you want to proceed, you can click on yes. So if you want to stop the execution, you can click on no. So it will be helpful when you are, copying the code, copying the statement from internet. So if you already know what will be the result, or if you know the value of the particular, parameters, then it's fine. So, but if you are not sure on the information, then you can use this one. Alright. Okay, so shall we move to next module?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thanks for confirming. Okay, so on the next one, we will learn about the file system handling. So basically, so in terms of file system, it supports both folders and files, right? So it's generally called files and folders. So in Windows, we will call about directory, right? Yeah. So in PowerShell, we can able to automate all the files and folders related, operations. So we can create a folder, create a file, add some content into it, delete some content, copy a file, moving a file, removing a file, delete a file, so whatever we are doing on the file operation, so we can able to achieve it. So here PowerShell, so if you want to find what are the commands available for the file system handling, you can find out using a keyword called item. So here, item is refers to both files and folders. So I'm just using get help. So instead of get help, I'm using help, since help is the alias for get help. So help followed by the keyword called item. So whatever is available here, right? So it contains mostly into files and folders related. Clear item, copy item, get item, invoke item, move item, new item, remove item, set item. So those commandlets related with the files operations. So if I need to create a file or folder, I can use new item. So I am still trying with the help system with the new item. I can able to find the syntax. Okay, so and also the information which I missed is if you already know the Linux command very well. For example, as I said before, get child item is a command to get the list of files and folders from the particular path. So if I'm running here, by default it will take care from this path, the PowerShell path, right? So C colon users, this one. So if I'm not giving any path, so I need to pass the path here. But if I'm not passing any path, by default path will be taken care. So C colon uses my name, so it will be taken and it will be execute. So I'm giving D colon for example. So it's running successfully, and it will give the list of files and folders. So whatever is the mode is having, D is a drive, it's a directory. So this one is a file. Okay, so if you already know Linux command very well, you can make use of it here. So the equivalent Linux command is ls, list directory, right? Ls. You can use ls as well, ls d colon. You can achieve the same result. Since all the Linux commands also supported in PowerShell. So if you are using move in Linux, you can use me. You can copy in Linux. We can use cp as a copy command. So if you know Linux command very well, you can make use of it. That's what I am telling here. So here we have move item. Here called copy item is supposed to cp. So the left side lsmvcp is Linux command. The right side one is Windows PowerShell command. So all the Linux commands you can make use of it here. So you can use in the PowerShell script and it will work. All right. So as we know, the all files and folders related commands are combined with the started with the item. It refers to the item actually. So if you find help, get help, and then item, you can able to find the list of commandlets which is used for files and folders related operations. So I want to create a folder, or if I want to create a file, so I can use a command called new item. So a new item is used to create a folder or file. So how we can segregate whether it's a file or folder? So we have some parameter to perform it. Okay, so if we see here, new item and then path. So which path I'm going to create a folder? I'm giving the path d colon and then path and also item type is a parameter for new item. So I'm giving value as a directory. Since without specifying a item type, it will create files. So you know the difference between folders and files, right? So folders, we don't need to specify any extensions. But when it comes to files, we need to mention with the file extension. So it's a txt file, log file, csv file, xls file. So we need to mention the extension, right? So if you want to create a new folder, you have to mention item type as directory, and no need to specify any extension .exe or something. This is a folder, right? So you can give space also. It's not a big issue. So you can give whatever you're doing manually. But the recommendation is when you are giving path, you can give single colon or double colon as well. It's not an you can use both single quotes or double quotes. Okay, so if I'm creating this one, I can able to find. I don't know whether I already have the folder. Let me check. test PS. Okay, I don't have. Okay, so I'm going to run this one. So new item refers to both files and folder creation. So if I need to mention the path where I need to create a folder, and if I need to create a folder, I need to specify item type as a directory. So if I'm running this one, so it ran successfully, and the directory created, the mode is called D, right? So created, so the write time also available, the length, and also the name. The drive name is, I mean, the directory name is test PS. Okay, so here it's created, and there is no data since it's a newly created folder, right? So again, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create a text file. So within the folder which I created. So new item. So as I said, we need to use the same command for folders and files. So here the thing is we need to specify the file extension, and also you can use item type as file also you can mention, but if without mentioning also, by default it will be considered as a file. So here I'm not mentioning item type as file since as I said by default is considered as a file. So okay, so if I'm running this one, so it's created. So if you see the file name 123 is created without any values. Okay, so can you try these two items, two statements? So one to create a folder and also create a file within that folder. Can you try it from that? So once you create it successfully, let me know. Others, if you stuck with something, and also let me know. Since the file system is very important file operations. So if you are working, real-time automation, so you mostly perform file operations like fetching the inputs from the files. For example, list of users or list of servers. If you want to perform something, so you list down all the information in the CSV file or else text file, and then you will fetch the content from the file in order to perform one by one. Okay, so and then once you perform something, you will write the log into the log file, and also if you are generating some report, if you are fetching some list, for example get services list, or else if you filtered based on the message with the event log. So if you want to append that result into CSV file, so you can export the data, right? So all those things comes with the file system handling. And also during the patching activity, post patching, so you can compare the list of services with the pre-patching list, right? So you will perform file comparison. So one is the pre-check file and the post-check file. So you just take those two files and you can check compare both files, so what can be changed. So instead of doing manually, you can do it in an automatic way. So and also there are few use cases actually. So in file system, you can get the logs, application logs, and you can move all the individual logs into the centralized tool, Splunk, others central drives, shell path you can store. So you can create a PowerShell script and you can schedule in the task scheduler. So every day or at specific point interval, it will run automatically. It will fetch the logs and it will move the logs from local machine to shared system. So there are few use cases, right? So at the time, if you understand, how to create a folder, how to create a file, how to move a file, how to create a, move the, folder, or how to, go get the content from the file, how to export the content into file. So all those file related tasks, it will be helpful for you to, implement the task. Okay, so anyone created folder and created the files within that?
Yeah, Napoleon, I did that.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we'll move into next one.
Napoleon,
Okay.
before moving on to the next one, can you tell me the difference between the single quote and the double quote?
Okay, so it will be useful when we are working with the print statement. Okay, let me check and tell you here. So you can use single quote and double quotes is not an issue when you are providing a path, but some cases. So if you are using some variable like okay, so I'm giving right away here. I am printing 10. Okay, so we will learn about this one later, but here I'm giving some information around quote difference. Okay, so here I'm storing 10 into $a variable. So $a is a variable name. I'm assigning 10 into it. So if I'm printing $a, so whether I can use single quote or double quote. So I'll use single quote first and then double quotes again. So here 10 is assigned with the $a. So if I'm running $a, I can able to get number 10. So if I'm write, we will learn about write cost and all later. Okay, so if I'm writing $a with single quote, so it's printed dollar quote. It won't print the values. But if I'm running the, if I'm using double quote, so it will give the value instead of, the variable. So that's why if we are printing something, and also most of the cases we supposed to use single or double quotes. So that's why I recommended to you use double quote as a practice, best practice, so that if anything you are, statement you are using, you supposed to use double quote as a best practice.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can here when mentioning the part, you can use both quotes. Is not an issue. But as a best practice, you can practice with using double quotes wherever it's applicable. Right. Okay, so right before going to rename, we will learn something. Okay, so I'm commenting this one. All right. Okay, so the rename item. So rename means if you want to rename the folder or file, you can use rename item followed by source and destination, which mean which folder or which file you are going to change. You have to give first, and what is the changes you are going to make. So instead of test PS, I'm going to change with patching. So here I am forcing, I applied -force, so sometime if you try to delete the file from temporary folder or some folders or files, you can able to get the prompt. Do you want to continue? Since the file, if sometime if file is already opened, you can't able to delete it, right? So at the time you can't do anything, but some cases if you want to force it using some access related or something, you can use force. Just 1 minute, I will connect my adapter. Okay, so the rename item, you can rename both the folders and also files. So previously, I have test PS, but I need to change with the patching. I can able to do using rename item. The previous name and the current name I supposed to change, and then I can give force. Without force also it will work, but some cases it will be useful when handling the file system. So if you are deleting something, it will ask you for the deletion prompt, right? So sometimes, so that's why if you want to don't need to pop up anything, you can use force. Okay, so here I already have patching, I guess. Yes, I already have patching. I'm going to rename this one to, okay. All right, so I'm just renaming test PS to patching. Now if I'm checking physically, I can able to find patching. Okay, so if I need to okay, so content, get content, can go letter. Okay, so on the next one, if I need to add some content into the file, so I created a file called 123. It's a text file. So, but if you see the size is 0, since we created a empty file, we haven't updated any content into it. So if I need to set the content, we can set it in few ways. So one is you can add some content. It's a statement I am printing here, and also pipeline. So we will learn about pipeline, but here the pipeline is just to take the previous output and store in the memory, and it will pass into the next command. So that's the purpose of pipeline actually. So the entire result will be stored and it will be passed into the second command. So that's the action the pipeline will perform. So what will happen if I running this one? This is a second line. The entire statement will be assigned into the this file. So send content is a command to set content into the file. You can also add use add content actually. So there are few ways, but the difference is can see the difference actually. Yeah. So first one I'm going to change the file name as well. So instead of 123, I need to change recheck. So instead of 123, I going to change. Okay, so I already have file name 123. I'm going to change to the precheck.txt. Cannot rename this specific directory. Okay, so since I already changed the folder name itself, alright. So the file name got changed. Okay, so still there is no content available since it's an empty file. I just changed the name. So first I changed the folder name and then I changed the file name. So and then I'm going to add some content. So I'm going to add this content into the file. So first I'm using set content. So if you see, so the sentence updated into the file. So if I'm using one more statement using add command, add content on the same file. So the next sentence added. So either you can use add command content or set content. But we have one more command also available. It's called out file. Okay, so I will show it here. So there are few recommendations. So I will tell you. Okay. So now if I need to remove the file, you can use remove item and then file name. And if you want to remove only one file, you can use only file name. So if you want to delete a folder, but within the folder we might have some subfolders, subfiles, and as well, right? Subfolders, and within the subfolder also we have some files. So if you want to delete entirely, so you need to use recurse. So recurse is a parameter. Will go in depth into the folders. So even if you are fetching something, you can use get-child item, right? So if you want to fetch something on the D drive, you're supposed to use get child item. So if you use this one, it will give the and the folders and files. But within the folder, we might have subfolders also, and also within the folder we have files. But it won't show it here until you use recurse. So if you want to get child folders, child files, so every information from the specific path, we have to use -recurse. So it's not only for remove items, it's for the child item, get the information and delete the information. So for tracing, file tracing, you can use recurse. All right. So now what is the best practices? So if you are running on, if you are going to work on text file or log file, so there are two ways to there are two commands you supposed to use actually. So one is to fetch the content from the file. We have to use get-content. I already have the matrix. Yeah, I already have this one. Okay. All right. So okay. So for example, so CD, right? So change directory. So you can use CD as well, or else we have corresponding PowerShell command as set-location. So if you want to change a particular path, you can use cd or else set hyphen location. So if you want to get the present location working directory, you can use pwd or get location. So if you want to list, as we already saw this one, right? So list directory. So get child item we can use. Okay, so when it comes to file system management, so if you are getting some values on the test file, so for example, I created a test file within the patching, right? So what is the, okay, I'm going to get the content of that file. So I can use get content and then file path. So either I can use hyphen path and then value, or else I can directly use path as well. So patching and then pre-check.txt. So get content followed by the path. So once I run this one, it will give the content of that path. Sorry, content of the file. So I have two lines of code. I mean lines on the file, right? So if you want to fetch information, if you want to read a file content, you can use get content. So whenever you are working related with the tst file or log file, if you want to read a content, you have to use get content. So and also whenever you are performing a write operation, so if you want to write something, as we discussed before, we used set content and also add content, right? So likewise, as I said, we have one more thing is called out file. So we have to use out file. So so by default, it will override the existing value. So whenever you're using out file, right? So what happened? The existing will be deleted and a new result will be added. But it is recommended to use get content to read the file and out file to write the file when we are working on the text or log related files. So on the other way, for CSV related operations, you can use import CSV to read contents from the file. And if you want to export some data in the CSV format, so we can use export CSV and followed by the path. So you can use XML as well. So XML, if you are going to write or read something, you can use import CLI XML. If you want to write, you can use export CLI XML. But mostly we will use TXT file, text file, or CSV file, right? So we won't use mostly XML file. If any network related automation and if you still need to convert the data into XML, you can make use of it. Okay, so you got the standard way, right? So whenever you are working TST log, you have to use get content to get the file, out file to write the file, right? So let me go to out file example. Okay, so there is a use case we will do it here. So the thing is, as I said before, during the pre-patching, we will get the list of services information, right? So I'm going to get the list of services information using a command called get service. Okay, so if you see here, if I'm expanding, there are a few service name. If you see here, there are a few service name. It comes with the 3 dotted lines. So it's not expanded, right? So try, if you try get service, you can able to find status, name and description, but you can able to find the name with the dotted lines. Okay, but if I exporting this one, you also get the same result. So the exported file also comes with it 3 dotted lines. So you can try it out. Okay, so probably I will try here. You also try from the end. So I'm using file out file now. So going to use same folder. So pre-check. Okay, so I'm going to export the get service result into pre-check file. So it's executed successfully. So if I need to get the content of the file, so which command I can use to get the content?
Get content.
Get content, correct. So get content, C, patching, pre-check. So here I can able to find the content. So even the content also having data values, right? So whatever you are seeing in the command prompt, it's just exported into out file and stored in the TSD file. Okay, but if you see the dotted line, so if you are sharing the file into client someone, so they supposed to understand the full value instead of dotted lines. So on this case, you have to expand the values. So how to expand the values? Using format table. So we will learn about the format table, pipeline and all in upcoming class. So here I'm just using to expand the data lines. So in order to compare the files, so we had to use format table and then wrap. So if I'm using this one, I'm running this one, and the entire value will be expanded without any data lines. And if I am exporting, so it's exported without any data lines. So let me show you. Okay, so what happened? Stuck. Oops. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Wayne.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there is a network issue. Okay, so we just complete this one and wind up the class. So probably we can, since we have them already left. Yeah. So here in the out file, so previously I used append. So as I said before, the out file is always override the existing value. So if you want to keep the existing value, you have to use append, -append. So then only the new will be added into the existing file. So previously I added this one, that's why I could see two result. Okay. Okay, so I'm using this one. Okay. So now I changed the content. If you see here, the entire content will be added without any dotted lines. So and then what I'm going to do is, if you want to, uh, you know, fetch the length, you can able to fetch the length as well, file length using the confined one. So we already seen the within the bracket, if you use, you can able to find the, you can access the properties of the command. So length is the one of the property for the file. I just if you want to get it, you can use get content path, and then within the bracket you can use length. So this is just information. So the next one I supposed to tell is, so I already have pre-check value. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to stop any services in this computer. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change manually in the file. So the Alias is already stopped in the machine. So I'm going to change with the running. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to save. I'm going to change the existing file with the running option. I'm closing this one, and then I'm going to go get the option again. I'm going to get the services again. I'm going to store the file name called postcheck.txt. So now the first one is a pre-check, doing the patching. So the second one, after the patching, I'm again getting the services name. I'm storing in the postcheck.txt file. So then I can able to get two list of values files. So if I need to compare both the files, I can use compare object. So compare object is a command to compare two file contents. So the compare is the short form of short, alias for compare object. So compare followed by the content of the first file and then content of the second file. So get content is used to get the content of a file, as we said, discussed before. So GC is the alias for the get content. So comparing, I'm getting content of two files and used in the compassed object. So now I can able to find three things. So here, okay, this one also stopped. Okay, so if you see here, there are two services got changed. So the ALG, how we can identify, based on the indicator we can identify. So the first one, pre-check, is is this one, the left side one. The second one is right side one. So on the right side, the ALG is stopped. and also the WLID SVC also stopped. But on the left side file, ALG running and WLID services also running. So based on the indicator, you can able to find the difference between two file contents. So on the right side file, post patch, post check file, content might be this one. The different content is stopped. The two services got stopped in the post check, and two services was working, running on the pre check. So based on the indicator, you can able to find out. So the ALG I did manually, but WLID is already stopped during this time, so it's already stopped actually. So if you want to outfile the output also, you can the result will be you can output to the new file. So depatching result, I'm storing the entire compare result into new file. So any questions with the compare object? Okay, so next one, if I want to show the entire result into grid view, I can use out grid view. So there is a grid view option available. So you have to just use pipeline and out grid view, and the entire result will be show in the form of grid view. So, but we can't able to store here, but we can. If you want to show it in the UI, you can show the result in the UI form. All right. So, any questions till now?
No, nothing.
Okay. So I will share the code to you, and also you just try whatever we learned today. So tomorrow I will refresh the thing where we left in the file system handling. And also if you have any questions, let me know tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And do you have any document